Hello, welcome back, my English learners. So, the next two videos are going to be for more intermediate advanced students, and we're going to focus on two things: more talk, more discussion about idioms in the workplace, specifically for successes, good moments, and failures, not such good moments. So, we're going to start by looking at some successes, some positive idioms. Okay, so let's take a look. Now, to kill two birds with one stone. This is very efficient. What it means is you're doing two things. You're solving two problems, two tasks, two errands. You're doing it in one action. Very, very efficient. So the example I gave you is, let's say you have a meeting in Los Angeles and you also need to drop off a report in an office in LA. And usually you live far away, so it's very inconvenient. But in this case, wow, you get to do two things in one drive or one, travel. So you get to kill two birds with one stone. You get to submit your report and you get to attend that meeting in Los Angeles. So I hope you like my picture to help demonstrate that. Okay, next. We all know Rocky, right? The famous American Hollywood star, the boxer, right? He was the underdog, meaning underdog means it's usually the person who is not favored to win, kind of like the losing team, okay? The underdogs. Now, Rocky was an underdog, right? He had a lot of losses, but eventually he made a huge comeback with a title win. He won at the end, right? So a comeback, to make a comeback means you achieve something awesome, something great after a failure or even sometimes a retirement. Like you're away from work or you haven't done this in a long time and you come back and wow, you did an amazing job. So think of like athletes, Olympians, for example, or people that are older, right? So let's say you haven't done a sport in a long time, but then you come back after 5, 10 years and you do amazing. You beat everyone. So you made an amazing comeback, okay? Now let's take a look at the next one. To come a long way. Now, wherever you are in your journey of learning English, I will tell you, you have come a long way. That means you made a lot of progress. So, one thing I want to highlight, these verbs, you can change it into the simple present, simple past, present continuous, present perfect, etc. So I told you, you have come a long way, meaning I use that in the present perfect. Or if I'm talking about someone and he did something in the past, he came a long way from where he once was, right? So I gave this example for all of you. You should feel very proud of yourself. You've come a long way in your journey of learning English. Learning English, as we know, is not a simple task. It takes a lot of patience, right? And a lot of effort. So I'm very proud of all of you. And you should be proud of yourself as well. Oh, to make the cut. It's kind of like, think about like, whew, right? Sometimes I watch these competitive cooking shows, and all the chefs are like waiting in line, and the competition, every episode they cut, like two people are out, right? So sometimes, you might have three people, three chefs, and they're like, oh, please, I hope I make it to the next round in the competition. So if you do, you made the cut, right? Meaning you did not get eliminated, you avoided it. So you avoided elimination, you feel relief. You're like, I'm saved. So in the work environment, you could say, these candidates made the cut and are moving to the next interview round. And that's our goal, right? You want to always make the cut to later get to the final round of interviews and get that job. All right, win-win. This is kind of self-explanatory, right? It's a positive situation because right now we're talking about idioms for success. So win-win means both parties are happy, everyone gets what they want. It's awesome. So in my example here, I said, I wanted a job promotion with a salary increase, and my boss, conveniently, he needed and maybe a new manager, right, to help with the growing business. It couldn't have worked out any better. It was a win-win situation. This, though, can also be used outside of work. For example, maybe your friend wants to sell his car and you need a car. So you buy the car, he sells the car, he gets the money, win-win, right? Good situation on both sides. Now, look at this adorable picture of this little hedgehog. Okay, to pass, and then you need a noun, something. The pass with flying colors. Woohoo, you did it. So it means you excelled. You did awesome. You did so well. Okay, so usually you could use this to pass, for example, your test, right? Like your driver's license test, for example. You pass with flying colors, meaning you got almost nothing wrong. If I pass my bar exam, this is for law students, right? People that want to become lawyers. If you pass your bar with flying colors, that means you did so well. You got like an A plus, like almost nothing wrong, right? You were very confident. You did really, really well. That's why he's so happy. Okay. Or you can pass a class with flying colors. You can pass the interview with flying colors, for example. Okay, let's take a look at this one. To rise to the occasion. Now again, you can change this into the past tense. You can change this into any verb tense. Now, what does this mean? Look at this person saying, I can, and then can't is falling. The T is falling, right? I can do it. It means to show and prove that you can deal or handle any difficult situation. No matter what happens, you can rise to the occasion and succeed. So, I gave an example from my own personal life. When I was working at UCI, my supervisor left for another position. So there were big shoes to fill, meaning that was a lot of responsibility. However, I proved I could rise to the occasion. And later, my dean or my director at the time and my manager offered me this position because I did so well, right? But I chose to go into teaching instead. Okay, now what about this one? Where there's a will, there's a way. So you don't give up. You stay positive. That's a positive mentality. Meaning, no matter what's happening in your life, whether it's in work and you have a big problem, if you say where there's a will, there's a way. Meaning you will find a solution or you will find a way to achieve or get what you want. You are determined. Nothing can stop you. So although, some companies are short-staffed due to major cutbacks of employees, maybe because of the pandemic, my team managed to put together 50 reports in the last 2 months. So as my boss always says, where there's a will, there's a way. Also, teachers like myself, this is our mentality. This is how we think, because teaching online is not easy, but we are determined. We want to do it, so we find a way. We have to be creative, think outside of the box, and find a solution and be resourceful. So this is my little brief video on work idioms for success to feel good. Now let's do a little review. What are these idioms? One second. Okay, there you go. What do these idioms mean? Okay, if I say he passed the test with flying colors, remember all of these are very positive idioms. So that means he did exceptionally well on his test. He got almost nothing wrong, right? How convenient! You killed 2 birds with 1 stone, meaning you completed 2 things you wanted to do with 1 action. Now, you've come a long way since you started working here. Maybe when you started working here, you were 15, 16 years old. Now you're in your mid-30s. And all that time, you've learned a lot. You've developed work skills, social skills. You learned a lot about your work environment, how to communicate with your boss. So you've come a long way. You've matured, right? Where there's a will, there's a way. Nothing can stop you. Anything is possible. And let's say for this next one, she made such a comeback. Like, wow, she succeeded after being away for a long time, or maybe after failing for a long time, right? Maybe the Olympic athletes, there's some Olympic athletes that try to join the Olympics year after year after year, and they're not successful. But maybe their third time or their fourth time, they make it. It's like, wow, they made such a comeback. Or sometimes for football or sports, the losing team, they keep losing again and again and again, but then they come back, they win. That is a comeback. Okay, speaking of winning, it's a win-win situation, meaning both parties or everyone is happy with the outcome. You rose, right? Rise. Rose is the past tense. You rose to the occasion when we needed you. So you had to go above and beyond in your responsibilities to help us with this task, and you succeeded. You just made the cut, meaning there was an elimination round and you succeeded. Now you're moving on to the next level. I hope these few idioms help you, or a handful of idioms help you in your own life and in the work environment. So if you have any questions, as always, be free to reach out to me. We can practice these together. And happy studying, everyone. Thank you. Bye.